Okay, all right. So, welcome. Hello, everyone. Today I am talking to Chris Humphrey, who is another winner from my challenges from the previous month. Hi, Chris. Welcome. So happy to have you here.
Hello. Hello. Thank you very much for having me.
Hello, hello. Um, for the people who don't know you yet, if you can share a little bit about yourself as a
Yeah,
start.
I'm a wedding photographer in Oklahoma, right in the middle of the United States. I have been a wedding photographer for over 20 years. I've shot over 500 weddings, and my newsletter, Inside Wedding Photography, is to help photographers learn the inner game of weddings so that they can build a business and become a wedding professional. Uh,
Yeah.
my target audience is photographers. So I'm not teaching photography, but when photographers hear about weddings and shooting weddings, it becomes very scary because weddings can be kind of scary. But my newsletter is to really take that scary part out and talk about the relationships and the people
Yeah.
and all those little things that you don't know that somebody finds out the hard way to so that they can build a business because ultimately photography is an amazing hobby. It's an amazing craft, but a lot of people have it as just a hobby, but it's an expensive
Yeah.
hobby.
It is.
That gear is not free.
Yeah.
So having a business was something that I wanted really right away when I started my photography. I did lots of things. I did landscapes, I did portraits, I did shot flowers, I shot commercial things, and nothing really was a good fit until someone asked me to shoot a wedding,
Yeah.
and it was a little it was scary. But at the end of the day, I knew that was where I wanted to be because that was exciting. Some people like to climb mountains, and some people like to jump out of airplanes for their
Yeah.
adrenaline rush. I shoot weddings. It is a lot of fun, and it is a lot of emotion, and you get to see a lot of people and a lot of amazing things, and you get to preserve the day for a
Yeah.
couple, their best day, and they get to look at your photos forever. And I
Yeah.
love that. I love that part about wedding photography is knowing there's going to be great grandkids that are going to be looking at those photos, and it's a piece of history. I just love it.
Yeah, yeah. But that's something that you do full time, right? If
Yes, it
right.
is. Yes, it
You
is.
know
Yes.
why I'm asking? Because so I have been trying to do something online for a lot of years already. I think since 2010, so 15, more than 15 already. And photography was one of these. I never shared this, but so I was trying to shoot because it's more like a hobby, kind of a passion for me, and I wanted
Hmm.
to monetize this and to do it on the side of my job and whenever I have time
Right.
to do it. But once I started and went deep into this, understood how all of the things that I have to know and learn and also buy to make it high
Yes. Yes.
quality. Yes. And then the
Yeah.
time to invest.
It's a
Uh,
crazy. It's a fantastic hobby.
yeah.
But yeah, you do find out as you found out that there's just so much, and that's just the photography part of it. That's just the gear.
Yes.
And so like when you're a wedding photographer, the first thing that I would recommend is you have to have two of everything. So because
Yeah.
if something breaks or something goes down at a wedding, there's no, you can't walk up to the bride and groom and say, "Hey, my camera broke. I'll see you later."
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. You pick up the next camera and you go. And I have three cameras. That's pretty common.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, it was. I mean, and I've had a camera break right in the middle of the first dance. Couldn't have
Oh,
been worse timing because that first dance only lasts about 3 minutes. So
yeah.
it's just, okay, no problem. Put it down, pick up the next camera and just start shooting and finish the thing. And then at the end of the night, then I can cry that I just broke a,
Yeah.
$4,000 camera. It
It's
happens.
this.
It happens.
I never thought about this, but that's something when you shoot live events, actually. So those behind the scenes things and also insights from the
Yeah,
experience very important as well. Um,
very important.
yeah, it's fascinating. I love that as a hobby, but I left it aside. So now I'm just shooting with my phone whenever I want. It's just
That's yeah, and you keep doing it. Keep doing it. 'Cause photography is amazing and it's a fantastic skill.
Yeah.
It's not just pointing the camera at something. It's really seeing all the things that are around that, seeing the background, seeing the
Yes.
foreground,
Yeah.
and having that exposure and just making it. Yeah, no, it's wonderful. I highly recommend. I would love everybody to be a
Yeah.
photographer. So yeah, it's
You know what I
fantastic.
love about yours is that actually we are very far away from the moment where AI can replace somebody like you because you are creating memories for from life event and
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, then and I wrote about that, or I have written about that. It will be published in a number of weeks because I do try to write ahead. But that AI will I don't think will ever replace wedding photography because
yeah,
unless there can be a robot that would follow you around and do all that stuff, that's
yeah,
just not going to happen. There is such a personal connection, and so uh,
yeah,
and that's the beauty of this gig as a wedding photographer is that it is a career path.
yeah,
But the best part is that you can also do it as a side hustle too. Let's say you don't want to be full-time wedding photographer. You have a day job.
yeah.
A lot of wedding photographers are in law enforcement and firefighters because
Oh,
they can have
interesting.
multiple days off. So they
Yeah,
can have 3 days off. So a Friday, Saturday, Sunday they have off. Firefighters especially, they'll work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, have Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. And
yeah,
so they want something else to do. So
yeah.
they become, wedding photographers. I actually knew a number of firefighters that were wedding
Interesting.
photographers, great ones, but it was
Interesting.
just a side hustle for them. All they
Yeah,
needed was 10 weddings a year. And, that was an extra, for them, it was an extra, 20, $30,000 in their pocket just
yeah,
for doing something that they love to do 10 times a year. So
yeah,
it's the money is there, but
yeah.
I don't want anyone to go into it for the money, however.
No, no, it's not. Yes, it's the work is so much, and also the skills that you have to have are so deep, I would say.
Yeah.
Besides the investments that you have to do, it's if you do it only for the money, you will burn out very, very fast, I would
You
say.
will, and you won't like it. And you, when you meet with brides, you won't have that passion.
Yeah.
You will be talking to them, and they won't see the passion that you have for what
Yes.
you do if it's just about the money.
Yes.
For me, the money was after the fact. I wanted to be able to serve and do something creative, but also do something that meant something
Yeah.
to someone. I've taken lots of commercial pictures. I've taken pizza and cocktails and all that stuff, and it's fun. And yeah,
Yeah.
you see it on a menu or you see it in a catalog or you see it in a magazine or something, but
Yeah.
it's nothing really replicates, shooting and putting your skills and your craft and your passion to work for someone
Exactly.
and and they had that and they love it.
Yeah.
They could not imagine anyone have done it except you. So
Yeah.
it's a wonderful place to be.
Yeah, I think wedding couples are choosing based on the person and the experience and also the connection,
Yeah.
because it depends on the person, whether and how do they do the photos and how do they catch the right moment, and that's really important.
Yeah, it's a
So
business, and it's a the business part of it is much the same as a lot of businesses. You still or a lot of service-based businesses, you're going to hire based on that person's personality. I'm going to
exactly.
be hanging around this couple for
Yeah.
12 hours, and I'm going to be following the bride from the time that she arrives at the country club or the church or something like that and putting hair and makeup on. So
Yeah.
I'm hanging around that whole pregame, what I call the
Yeah.
pregame, as well as the ceremony, and then the entire postgame when everybody's dancing and having a good time and drinking and everything's going crazy, and then they leave at the end of the night. I'm there the whole day. So if you don't like your photographer, you're going to have a tough time putting up with them for the
Yes.
whole day. So that's why
That's
actually
very true. Yeah.
last week or just the newsletter that I just published on Sunday, I published every Sunday
Yeah.
morning. It was about meeting with the couple and just ways to get that meeting started off on a good foot because the meeting is so important. You need to
Yeah.
connect. And if you find out you don't like that, if the bride finds out, yeah, I just don't like the guy,
Yeah, exactly.
super, that's absolutely fine. And if I go, I get a weird vibe from this bride that
Yeah,
we're not a good fit, that's absolutely fine. There's lots of photographers out there. So yeah, it's a relational, it's definitely
yeah.
a relational business.
True, true. But speaking of Substack, how did you decide to start a Substack?
My wife got me or encouraged me to write about the things that I was probably complaining about after a wedding, and just little things, and or seeing going to a wedding and seeing another photographer just miss stuff, and just not kind of plugged in. And so she basically encouraged me. She said, you should write about this. You know a lot about weddings. You know a lot about wedding photography. You should write about this. So I started writing, and I've had a it's I wouldn't consider myself a great writer. I write like I speak. So often it's
That's already good
lots of
enough.
yeah. Well, there's lots of dots, lots of dashes, lots of parentheses, lots of I say things and then I say something quieter. So there's lots of brackets.
Yes.
But I write like I speak, but I try to make it entertaining. I try to make it fun and educational at the same time. So, but when so I started writing short form, and then I started writing longer, and now with Substack, I actually started with another newsletter provider, and I didn't like it as much, and so there was just something missing. And when I came to Substack, I found exactly
Mm,
what I was missing, and it was the community side of it,
yeah, I
and
knew
that
I
is
knew he was gonna say that. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
well, it is the biggest asset I think that Substack has is community.
I think so too. Yeah, there's no other platform that allows you to create such connections, and people are finding clients on this platform and also building real
Absolutely.
connections. One that the type of which you can't really find on other social media, at
I
least.
agree. I agree. And I've gotten off the other social media. It's just it was just doing it to do it. It just seemed like because you were supposed to do it. And
Yeah.
so yeah. So it was a hard decision saying I'm not going to play in those other pools anymore. I'm just going to swim
Mm,
in this one, and I'm going to swim more. And
yeah.
so that's what and your encouragement and everything that you've been doing has been a huge part of that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yes, I am consistent in this. I want to encourage people to do that because it's important for their growth. I think
Yeah.
that's the number one thing. But yeah, speaking of, can you share some best practices from Substack so far?
Consistency is the number one thing, and that was what I took away from you when I was following you pretty much from day one, because marketing is something that I'm very passionate about. Marketing is a big part of business, doesn't matter what business you're in, and
Yeah,
so I found you very early on, and consistency with the notes. That is a huge best practice. And it wasn't until I got together with you that I found just how important that was.
yeah,
It's hard to do four, five, 6 notes a day. My cadence is 6 notes a day. I actually have a literal cadence of the kind of notes. I have photos. I have sometimes just text. I like to restack. Sometimes I restack someone else's. I restack my own. So I have kind of a cadence. So I try to take the thinking out of it. So I've
yeah,
created a system, and
yeah,
that's my biggest best practice. Um, but the best thing was when you introduced me to Finn Tropy and his Substack scheduler.
yes,
Two big
yes,
thumbs up for that one. That was
yeah,
huge, because it's you can't just look at your watch like often I'll do when I don't schedule, and I'll say, okay, well, I got to, it's been 2 hours. I need to post, or
yeah,
I need just do a note.
yeah,
So you can to be able to schedule those notes out is tremendously
yes,
beneficial. And
it-
so that's my best practice is consistency. Get into the mindset that you're doing this as a business. You're doing this long term. This
yeah,
isn't just a something you're gonna pick up and then set down in 3 months. I've been doing it 6 months. I'm just as energized today as I was when I started. It's a lot of fun, and I know that I'm helping or I'm educating photographers, hopefully helping them. And at some point, I'll start, monetizing that more. But right now, I'm still in the building blocks of it. I'm still trying to build an audience and build my foundation, and
Yeah.
then I'll get huge, just like you.
Yes, I can see it from now, because I can see the passion. You're not doing it for the money. That's
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, that's I think that's the number one thing in order to get there, to grow and to be successful with. I think it's valid for any type of business. If you do it out of passion, then you find a way how to really help people, and create this connection with your customers or future customers, potential customers, and that's where the business starts. It's not on the sale and making the money. It's more the connection. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't love it if you don't love the work, you won't love the job. And
Yes.
and I love the work. It's fun. It's fun writing. It's fun connecting. It's fun, making the notes has been probably the most surprisingly enjoyable part of it because I try to keep it themed. If I'm talking like this week, I'm talking about a wedding meeting, so I try to keep my notes on topic, and I do use big thanks to you, I do use AI to help
Yeah.
at least give me a foundation. All my
Yeah.
notes are written by me, but it's just to sit down and say, okay, I need a note. That's
Yeah.
hard. So I do use AI to here's my newsletter.
Yeah.
Give me some things that can spark my can spark a note, a good note,
Yeah.
and put your parameters on it, like your plugins or like your GPTs, and it'll guide that. Then you just customize them. You just make them
Yes.
yours, put them
Yes.
in your voice.
That's really a very good strategy. I also use it.
Mhm.
Um, and also it's very important because notes are helping you to get discovered on the platform. And because of this, if you do it this way and it's connected to the topics that you have in your newsletter and you're not just sharing on notes, this is my day and this is what I just ate. It's
Right. Yes.
it's that's how you make sure that you are attracting the right people on
Yes,
your.
and there's some creatives because I do follow creatives.
Yeah.
There's some creatives that knowing what they ate and drank in the morning, that's part of their charm. That's part of their allure for other people. You're never going to know what I ate. I'm sorry, but you're going to know how I can help and what I'm thinking about on this day.
Yeah.
So I do like to talk photography. I do like to talk business. I do like to have fun. I like to. I'm a multimedia creator, so I love pulling little clips from movies and applying them to some sort of
Yeah.
topic of the week and just having fun with that. But yeah, it's I think just the consistency is there, and if you enjoy that notes process, which I do, then
Yeah.
you build your audience. It just happens that way.
True, true. Very true. What about some challenges? Have you had some challenges up to now growing your Substack? How did you
Well,
address it?
I think my biggest challenge is that I'm a niche within a niche is how I look at it. So photography is my niche, and yes, it's big. And if you just look at photography, actually, photographers don't even have a category. Hey, Substack, we need a category.
Yes.
So photography, you can search photography, but if I want to categorize myself in my profile, photography isn't there yet. So I'm in arts and illustration, as all photographers are. So I think that's going to happen. I think they're getting it because photography is becoming prominent. But
Yeah.
if you look at photography, you'll see lots of trees. You'll see lots of black and white photos. You'll see lots of amazing, artistic creations. But
Yeah.
my niche is different. I show wedding photos, and I'm not showing wedding photos to promote myself and my wedding business.
Yes.
I'm specifically promoting or I'm specifically trying to help photographers get into weddings. So it's
Yeah.
it's a little bit different. I think I counted 42. The last time I did this a couple of months ago, I counted 42 under wedding photography, 42 Substacks, and only one of them outside of myself talked about helping wedding photographers become wedding photographers.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm a niche within a niche within a niche. And so that's been the biggest challenge. But at some point I'm gonna break out. You have that, you have to have that consistency again, because I know that eventually I'll become, as Substack becomes the place for people to go, then
Yeah.
I'm just helping build my foundation as the guy that, if you want to be a wedding photographer, I'm a pretty good guy to talk to because
Yeah.
I'm going to
Chris
encourage
is
you.
the go-to, yes.
Yep.
For yes. Well, hopefully that happens sooner. Hopefully.
It's gonna happen, and
Yeah.
my wife who reads Substack, she's been reading Substack longer than I have. She's like, well, how long? I said, until it happens. So it's
That's the right
it's just
answer.
you, yeah.
Yeah.
You just keep doing it. I enjoy doing it. So this is
Yeah.
this is my hobby.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great. Amazing. So what do your subscribers get as benefits? Free
Uh,
subscribers.
The free subscribers really, I mean, it's just a free subscription, so they're just getting. So again, this is part of the foundational process. So don't flame me too badly, but they're getting nothing at the moment. But I do have my first paid product is going to be released this week, and
Yeah.
then I've also have a I guess essentially a lead magnet
Yeah.
on that I could sell, but I'm going to give it to my subscribers that will be more on mindset and helping some of the foundational things. So kind of taking some of the posts that I have written, and I thought, I think that would be I'd like to give that, like to make that longer than
Yeah.
just I write about 12 to 1500 words for my post, so it's about 5 minute read. So I want to go a little bit deeper and give a little more detail. And um, so I'm going to have that as for my free subscribers, and then my paid subscribers will get anything that I sell. I'm going to be able to I'll be able to offer that to them. The whatever the 27 or the $47 product or whatever it is. I'll be able
Yeah.
to offer that to them at a great discount, maybe
Okay.
free. We'll see.
Yeah. Great. Well, sounds great. Yes. Sounds like a plan for your Substack in
It's a
2020.
plan. It's a plan. Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. Well, hopefully, fingers crossed that it happens faster. And for anyone who's watching, and if you are into wedding photography, please subscribe to Chris. His Substack is really amazing. And
Thank you
I
very much.
honestly don't agree that you don't give anything because you give a lot of value already for free. So to
Well, and
like
that's why I made it free. It's so you can't beat the price. You want to learn how to be a wedding photographer, I know some place and it's costing you nothing. So
yes, exactly. That's already a very
uh,
good stuff. So
yeah, yeah. And I love it.
yeah. Yeah, because when people give you their email address, even if it is for free, it's still a transaction and an action of trust. So you
Yes,
have
and I
made
and
some.
I don't abuse that. I don't abuse that trust. That's very important. That's an excellent point, because yes, there is a transaction, and normally when someone gives you an email address, they are expecting this huge lead magnet or all these discounts or something like that. And then as you get bigger, a lot of that comes at a price. It comes at a price of ads.
Yes,
It comes at a price of somebody else's pushing, or you find your email address showing up in someone else's account, and that's not the way that Substack works.
yes,
I don't. I keep my newsletters focused on the Sunday post, and
yeah,
then we can talk all week long. That's one of the things that a free subscriber gets is to be able to message. I do have that, so I guess there is some exclusivity with
yeah,
subscribers is being able to ask questions and have messaging. But
yeah,
honestly, if someone emailed me, I would answer their question because
yeah,
that's the way that I do it. So
yeah, yeah. No, it's access to you already, and very few people are doing this for free, actually.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, great. So if you had to start Substack all over again, what would you do differently?
I start right away with notes. If I had to start Substack over again, I would start right away with notes, and I would understand the power of that community, being very discerning about those people that you start following, because
Oh,
you can manipulate. I don't like to ever think of it as an algorithm, but you can, the people that you follow and the people that you talk to and
yeah,
interact with, that does affect the people that you're going to see on a daily basis. And I see new people
yeah,
every day, and so I'd be being very intentional if I had to start, because I waited a couple of months. I wrote, I was focused on the writing and focused on, what else can what can I sell, and not knowing that. And so I just worried about writing, and I ignored notes. I ignored notes like a lot of people do when they get on Substack.
yeah,
They just think my post is out there, then it should be good.
yeah,
Well, that's not the case. Notes is the way you get found. That's
yes,
the way they were designed.
yes.
And so I would start that. That'd be about the biggest piece of advice I'd give. If I had to start, I would just start it the right way sooner. And I think the, I would pay attention to you. If I just started right away, I would just
Thank
subscribe
you.
right away to you, because that's you build that foundation. You've built that foundation for everybody, and you've told
Yeah.
them this is how you do it. So just do it this way. That's the best way to do it.
Thank you so much for this. Yes, yeah. For the record, I never asked for this.
No, 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 no.
But yeah, thank you. Yes, I'm trying to make people's lives easier on Substack, because it's a great platform, but it's not very easy. So
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
it's kind of unique. So you have social media and then a blog and then an email and everything in between, and a
Yeah, yeah.
community, of course.
It's funny to see people talk about, well, is Substack social media? Is it not? It's social media.
It is.
Because if you work your notes right, and if you're working the community right, then you're being social. You're a part of a community. But it's a
Exactly.
very intentional community. I talk
Yeah.
to a, probably a group of like 6 or 8 people every single day, and some of them are photographers. Some of them
Yeah.
are not. They're just into marketing,
Yeah.
and but we interact on notes every day, and it's
Yeah.
fun. I mean, somebody's in Arizona, somebody's in Canada, somebody's in Australia,
Yeah.
and so it's just time zone is the only thing that's different. Is I won't see their note until for about 12 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's a really good tip, actually. That's and I loved it. I absolutely agree. Notes are really, I think, the must, well, the one thing that you must start from the very beginning. What
Yep.
about some productivity? So people are always asking me about productivity, and that's why I keep asking my guests in those spotlights. Because I don't really, when I think about, I don't really have any specific productivity tips. I just focus on delivery, and that's uh,
Yeah.
like the easiest way, the fastest way to deliver the result. That's the focus, and then you do whatever it's necessary. Some people say I
Yeah.
operate in chaos, so there's no there is not much of a system or a schedule or anything like that. I just have I know what to have to do to deliver, and then I make sure I deliver it.
Yeah.
But do you have some productivity tips?
Yes. For productivity, uh, plan your for me, taking my post, the
Yeah,
content around my post, and planning my notes around that in advance. So
yeah,
on Saturdays, when I finish up my post and I schedule it for Sunday morning at 9 o'clock, my
yeah,
thought there is but wedding, if you're shooting a wedding or if you've shot a wedding and you want, then 9 o'clock Sunday morning is that downtime. Every wedding photographer is pretty much down on Sunday morning at 9 o'clock, so they can read that.
yeah,
So on Saturdays I write, or when I schedule it, then so I'll write all week long, and then I'll schedule it on Saturday. At the same time, I'm also then putting together my notes content,
yeah,
and I will still write my notes. Sometimes I'll write the notes. I'll write a whole bunch of notes in
yeah,
advance and get those posted, but or get those scheduled in the
yeah,
Fintropies scheduler. And then some
yeah,
of them I just have a Word document that I refer to every day, and I just
yeah,
look at it and I say, what do I want to, what am I feeling today? Am I feeling spicy? Am I feeling a little more business like, a little more serious? And
yeah,
so, but at least knowing what the theme of the week is going to be is a huge productivity hack, because and then I don't just have to pull something out. Uh,
yeah,
that's just random. So because I do like to talk business, I love marketing. I love that part of
Uh-huh.
that
Yeah,
of
true.
business. So I like talking about marketing. So I'll always interject marketing in there.
Yeah,
So that's a
yeah,
good productivity hack. Just plan ahead,
yeah.
and it won't be as scary. Substack
Uh-huh.
won't be as daunting as a lot of
True.
people I think make it.
Yes, that's very true. I also use the schedulers, and when I schedule ahead, and then it's such a peace on my mind. It's such a relief that I don't have to always think about, because it's important. Also, the timing of the posting is very important on notes. That's something I understood, I don't know, months after I started, because initially I was posting a lot of notes at once, and some of them didn't really get any traction. Then I
Hmm.
started, okay, so I have to analyze, and that's really important. And if you have to do it manually, it's I mean, it's a full-time job. You have to be on the computer always.
100%. Yeah, I have a full-time job. I don't need Substack is not my full-time job. So yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
I have one. So yeah, having a plan and yeah, knowing uh the the what I will do on a consistent basis is that first two posts in the morning, those are scheduled.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't have to touch Substack technically until 11 o'clock in the
Yeah.
morning. Now
Yeah.
I will look on Substack and I'll be engaging with people because I know that's when their best engagement time is
Yes.
in the morning, but I don't have to worry about doing a note until at least 11:30.
Exactly.
So until and that there and you put it perfectly. There's just that freedom going, oh, I don't have to worry about. I can just engage. I can just enjoy the community,
Exactly.
or
Yes.
or I can go grocery shopping, or I can
Yeah.
do something else, and you don't have to sweat that.
Yeah.
And you could schedule out your whole day if you wanted. The way that I schedule my content or the way that I do my notes, I like to restack.
Yeah.
And right now we can't schedule a restack, which
Yeah.
but you could. But I love the shareables,
Yeah.
what I call shareables. When you find a great quote and then you just click share, and it makes that neat little quote card.
Yes.
So that you can schedule. And so
Yeah.
I have one of those every day. Yeah, I have a cadence. So yeah, from a productivity standpoint, I've already decided what I'm doing every day and
Yeah.
roughly the times. So but yeah, it's a lot of fun when you know, oh yeah, I'm good. I'm good until noon. I'm good. You know,
Yeah.
so now I can
It
just
is.
engage and just talk.
Exactly. Yeah. I love that too. It's really great. Okay. What about any books if you can share? Maybe those who have significantly influenced your life.
Yeah, again, since I love marketing, I gotta recommend This Is Marketing. Books. It's called. The title is This Is
This
Marketing by
is one.
Seth Godin,
Yes.
and it's a collection of his daily. I don't know. It's like a couple of years worth of his little daily emails that he would send out. But it's something you can read and reread. I read it every year,
Yeah.
and it just sparks little ideas, little things about the fundamentals of marketing. Marketing is so important in any business, as I've said probably 100 times. But this book is just a great resource, and it just makes you think about the fundamentals. That's a nonfiction book. From a fiction book, I like The Fountainhead, which is by Ayn Rand. I think everybody knows Atlas Shrugged, and they hold that up as the gold standard for Ayn Rand's work. I love The Fountainhead because it's about a creator. It's about an
Yeah.
architect. I think everybody, in some weird way, wants, always wanted to be an architect, just like a photographer. Everyone wants to be a photographer,
Yeah.
but it's about a creator who has challenges for holding the integrity of his work. The world is basically against him and the way that he's doing his work. And so it's about being true to your work, being true to your craft, and having integrity and not going down the I guess the modern version would be going down the social media route. And now, okay, so everybody's doing that goofy dance. So now I have to do that goofy dance so that I can
Yeah.
be relevant. It's about being true to yourself and having integrity in your work. And the lead character is is an architect. He's a creator. He makes things. And
Yeah.
then the third book would be more, I guess, since I do like self-help books, it's an audio series because it came out on records in 1968.
Yeah.
So you can only find it as like a download, an audio book. But it's called
Yeah.
Lead the Field by Earl Nightingale, and it's something again you can listen to. It's like a little 15-minute nugget on building yourself, building
Yeah.
your creativity, building your value, and just building that foundation that you have within yourself and keeping it strong
Yeah.
and knowing why you're doing things, what's important, attitude,
Yeah.
and having I think we all need to just remind ourselves of some of the fundamentals again, and that's what Lead the Field does. It's a wonderful book. It's been, I don't think it's even in a book. It's in audiobook form is how you listen to it because yeah, it
I
came
have
out
to
when
check it out. Yeah, I
in
don't know
records.
that.
Yeah,
I have to check it
it's
out.
very very old. Yeah, Earl Nightingale, and once you hear the guy's voice once, you'll just it just draws you in. He's just such an amazing speaker.
Awesome. Yeah. Can you share the links with me so that I can share with the people so that they can check maybe to
I sure
Amazon?
can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sure can.
That would be great. That would be great. Yes. All right. One last question I have for today. I always ask my guests in the spotlight. It's more about mindset. But I'm curious. So it's if it goes like this. So if money wasn't an issue, what would you do?
If money wasn't an issue, I'd probably do the exact same thing. I'd just do more of it. It wouldn't take me 2 months to create something that I could offer to others.
Yeah.
Because I do love what I do. I do love being a wedding photographer. I know I'm not, as I'm sure you can tell, I'm not 20 something. So
Yeah.
at some point I'm going to have to stop doing this. But that's what the platform is. That's what Inside Wedding Photography is. It's a way to. I don't like to look at it as giving back. It's just
Yeah.
giving. It's just helping move the craft forward. And I do think there's skill and there's artistry in wedding photography. And so I would just if I didn't have to worry about money, I would
Yeah.
do more of this and I would probably do it a lot faster.
Yeah, yeah, that's actually beautiful. I really love that. That's it's very powerful message. Thank you for this. As for the mindset, I think so. People say that when you answer that you will do the exact same thing, that it means that you already have an abundance mindset, and that's
It's important to have. I mean, it's
I
important to
think
have
so
because
too.
because
Yes.
yeah, you never want to start. You never want to keep yourself down to the
Yeah.
point where someday I'll be there. Someday I'll
Yeah.
be there. I'm here now. I'm here now at a different scale
Exactly.
than maybe where I want to be with the journey with Substack.
Yeah.
Because again, I've only been doing it for 6 months. So you know, but I know that it's going to happen,
Yeah.
and the important thing is just to enjoy the process every day. Enjoy what I'm doing. Enjoy the people that I'm getting to meet, and I look forward to just growing. I look forward to seeing more people. I look forward to seeing and reading you
Me
every
too.
day, and being inspired by it. So
Thank you. Thank you so much. Me too. I'm really looking forward to see you grow on Substack and become even bigger than me because you have the potential. I think you already have the potential. And yes, for everyone who is watching, again, I would say please subscribe to Chris, especially if you are into photography and wedding photography particularly.
and
He
do the
and do the
challenge because
challenge. Yes.
it keeps you accountable.
Yeah.
There's a scientific part of even though you might not think you're doing that, but there's a gamification
Yeah.
of this challenge that is very important. That is just checking that box, knowing that when at the end of the day, you can check that box.
Yeah.
And I did it. And when you see that box not checked, then you're like, oh, tomorrow's going to be better. Tomorrow
Yeah.
I'm going to check that box. So
Exactly.
very
Yeah.
important. Yeah, I love the challenge.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chris. And thank you for being with me today. I really enjoyed our conversation, and I'm
It was a
sure
pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you.